Governor Pete Ricketts and a trio of Nebraska state senators are speaking out against proposed revisions to the state college system's harassment and discrimination policies. Portions specific to gender identity grab attention, but the chancellor of the colleges says the policy changes little about how the situations would be handled. 3 News Now, Aaron Haggerty has more.
The only things that we're really changing are providing definitions for all of the protected classes, as well as making sure that our classification and definition related to race discrimination incorporates the information that was approved by the legislature and the governor last year.
The chancellor of the Nebraska State College System, who presides over Wayne, Peru, and Chadron State, says the State College Systems Board is looking to revise its policy on what constitutes race discrimination to include what the legislature approved last session, adding hairstyle and color.
We also added pregnancy into the range of protected classes.
But neither of those topics are what are creating controversy.
I would say there's at least a misrepresentation that we have not had gender identity as a protected class for a number of years. I think people are believing that what we're doing is we're actually changing that and that we're finally just adding that for the first time, and that's not the case.
Chancellor Paul Turman says the new policy change outlines updates to their internal system regarding a chosen name and gender identity. It says employees should respect the chosen name and gender identity of other employees.
The belief that if you have gender identity and give people the opportunity to change maybe a pronoun, how they want to be referred to as our information system communicates with them, that it creates the opportunity for more transgender individuals to have access to restrooms, locker rooms, and that's certainly not the case.
In the original draft, language from the Federal Equal Employment Opportunity Commission was included, language that included allowing transgender people to use bathrooms and locker facilities that align with their gender identity. That got the attention of anti-LGBTQ groups and some Republicans.
It made reference to you cannot discriminate because of an individual's chosen use of a particular restroom, and it came directly off of a Equal Employment Commission website as here are examples of what they would classify as harassment for employees.
After the feedback from groups like the Nebraska Family Alliance, that EEOC language was dropped. Governor Ricketts sent a letter to the board Wednesday. He wrote, "Adopting the proposed policies would impose gender ideology on Nebraska State College campuses by discouraging teachers and students to speak freely and act in accordance with science and their judgments about the biologically determined nature of males and females." State Senator Joni Albright was one of the 3 senators to release a joint statement on the topic from the districts representing all 3 schools.
Everybody's going to have to learn all about who's he, she, we, thee. I mean, I don't think it's necessary. You know, I'm going to call you Aaron, and I hope you like it just that way because I'm not comfortable having to go through everything else. We never had to do that before. Why now?
She says the policy changes here are similar to the debates over sex education that occurred earlier this year. She says transgender students are welcome at the colleges, but the policy changes are not right for Nebraska.
Nebraska, we're nicey nice. It's the good life. I don't see that that's a problem in the state of Nebraska. I just don't.
She says she heard from the parents of a student admitted to Wayne State, which is in the district she represents.
But the parents aren't so sure they want her to go there because of this. So I don't want to see children decide to go somewhere else when they can stay right here in Nebraska.
I was actually really pleased that the state colleges are aligning their policies with federal law. It's the right thing to do. Transgender people live everywhere in Nebraska.
Abby Swatsworth heads Out Nebraska. She says she was disappointed to see the statement from Governor Ricketts.
It's concerning to me because I know that he's heard from young people in the LGBTQ community that his rhetoric on this issue is hurtful and harmful to them, and yet he continues to use this divisive language around our community's issues.
She's not concerned about the changes made to the draft policy after backlash, taking out references to the EEOC's guidance.
Whether or not an example is explicitly listed doesn't mean that the school can't still use that example, right? My concern would be if the policy itself were impacted, which I don't feel like it is being impacted at this point.